guys, it's all about putting yourself into position for success. And that's not just writing letters forever. That's not going to get you anywhere. You have to actually go and meet the women if that's what you want. If you want to go over and possibly make something happen with one of these women, then you need to go do either the tour or the individual things that we talked about earlier, that kind of thing. So when you log into our site as a user, right, you're going to come to what we call the admin page, basically your account where it says my account. And guys, there's a reason why we put text there, because we know you're going to come to that page, and we know that most likely if you're going to see the text, you'll see it there. And it's important that some of the text that we put there, we feel is very important. That's why we put it there. We put it in other places on the site as well where we think you're going to be, and you might look at it, you might read it. And we encourage you to do that. I think it's important because we try to be as transparent as possible as how this site works. Because as I said earlier, it is different than just about any other dating site out there that you can use. We are very unique. We have been since we started this thing back in 1995. And we've had thousands and thousands of marriages since then, right? Including my own, including many who work for us here. But you have to understand how this site really works to be able to take most advantage of it, right? So it's important that we talk about these things once in a while. So when you log in, I just wanted to just bring it to your attention. One of the first links you'll see here is a link to the frequently asked questions. Guys, take the time and read those frequently asked questions, because there's some good advice as to how the site works, right? Questions that we get a lot from you guys that you're probably wondering about, we try to answer there for you. And so it's important that you read that, okay? And then we talk about how it's a good idea also that you actually read the terms and conditions that are located here and in your inbox. So you can find that anywhere on the site. And I know that when you log on stuff, you just click, right? Terms and conditions. Well, with us, those mean something. You need to read those, and because it gives you a lot of good advice. If you read it, you'll understand how the site really works. It's important. We strongly advise, okay, let me just read this here really quick. It is imperative that you meet in person. We do not, nor have we ever advocated excessive correspondence. Guys, you do not want to sit here and be writing for months or years at a time. That's not what this site's about. It's about trying to go over and meet. Yes, you can use the letter writing if you read the good advice, how to do it. There's a lot of good advice on the site that talks about how to use it wisely and responsibly. But, if you just want a pen pal, I guess, if you just want to write and you're never going to go anywhere, then fine. Then you can just sit there and you can write, and that's fine. And a lot of you, I think, are just going to do that. You're not going to want to go over and actually meet someone. If that's where you get the value from it, then that's great. But for those of you that want to go over, that want to meet someone that could possibly change your life and have changed, like mine, so many other lives out there, then you don't want to be writing forever. You want to actually go and meet these women. And yes, you can use this as a tool to do that, but you don't need to write a lot. To go on a tour, I know intuitively, you think that you have to write, you have to have a connection. I have to have a connection before I go. No, you don't. I didn't have a connection with Tanya before I went to that social. I never knew the woman existed till I met her at that social. And the only reason I met her was because I was there. I wasn't in front of my TV or on my screen writing letters. I was actually at that social. She was at that social, and we met. Now, of course, she blew me off when we first met. I always give her a hard time about that. But it gave me the opportunity to get up to bat, to actually just put myself in front of her and meet her. And without that opportunity, we would have never had the life that we've had for the last 25 years together. 27 years almost, really, this July when we first met. So, guys, it's all about putting yourself into position for success. And that's not just writing letters forever. That's not going to get you anywhere. You have to actually go and meet the women if that's what you want. If you just want to write and that's all that you're interested in, fine. Then you can do that till your heart's content. But again, if you want to go over and possibly make something happen with one of these women, then you need to go do either the tour or the individual things that we talked about earlier, that kind of thing, all right? And to that point, we talked about here again how we offer several ways to meet, including group tours, club, executive packages, and one-on-one introductions, even in cities where we do not have an office. Guys, if we don't have an office, some guys you'll say, oh, well, John, how do I meet her? Because she's in Timbuktu, you don't have an office there. Doesn't matter. We will still assist you in trying to meet that woman, whatever it takes. We will help.
You too can experience the romantic adventure of a lifetime. Join men from all over the world as they take a trip and find their future brides.
Check out our website at costa-rica-women.com.